Good morning. I am Laurel Colgate. In writing my flight plan at the beginning of the program, I summarized my mission. I had just completed my master's in reading at USF. I felt that in the past 6 years, I had been on a quest to better serve my students. I work in the ESE field with students with varied exceptionalities. As I researched avenues to further my knowledge, I completed the 15 credit hour graduate program for both autism certification and the intellectual disability certification, participating on the Tampa campus at USF, where I had obtained my master's degree. I still felt I was missing the ability to improve my students' abilities in the field of reading and writing. I had concluded that they were not hearing the sounds, thus unable to sound out words correctly. My master's degree focused on teaching reading and writing components to the standards. 3 years ago, I attended the IDA National Convention in Orlando and was blown away by the research being done with all the brain components and research. The following summer, I attended a program to develop and create new neuron pathways in the brain. I found the program too difficult to teach since it redesigned every sound pattern previously utilized. It did further my belief, though, that it was possible to reprogram the brain and develop the necessary neuron pathways to become an efficient reader and writer. Even though I was exposed to the Orton Gillingham and Wilson programs at the conference, I felt that those programs were developed by companies and did not address but a portion of the problem. I did not want the solution to be training certification in someone else's basal program. At that point, different universities were planning on developing a graduate program for reading disabilities and dyslexia, but it was not there yet. My 5 most important goals at the onset of the program were to acquire a comprehensive understanding of the complex components of reading, because I believe that using a scientifically based reading intervention can show a significant and durable change to the brain organization so that the brain activation patterns resemble those of a typical reader. And of course, that's from the Neuron Symptoms reading from Shates in 2004. Second, to understand and become proficient in the delivery of multisensory structured language educational program that provided instruction in a systematic, cumulative, explicit, and sequential approach to incorporate all the components of reading necessary, the phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension at the levels required for each student. Number 3, to incorporate the knowledge to provide and demonstrate significant differences in reading ability levels for my students this year to provide effective evidence-based comprehension reading intervention program that provided listening, speaking, reading, writing using explicit, systematic, cumulative, and multisensory methods. And the 4th was to apply and become accepted to a program with a sponsor professor to write and finish a doctorate degree in special education focusing on teaching to the brain. I can honestly state that I have not met or do not expect to meet all these goals until I complete the entire program. If I have taken away one exit ticket response from the first session, is that learning to read and write is an exceptionally complicated process utilizing many different compartments of the brain, and that starting with early language and language to the end result of reading and writing for comprehension successfully and proficiently, it is built in an interactive and sequential process that I am only beginning to understand. I have completely changed my 90-minute reading block to include errors, phases of word recognition, and am going to see if I can write a grant to fund Wilson Just Words intervention program to have a systematic approach to sound symbol correspondence, phonetically regular and irregular high-frequency words, orthographic spelling sequences, and morphological patterns. I have also included daily reading alouds and repeated fluency passages with pragmatic sight words from the passages. I am doing a phonics and spelling program that I put together myself with word families and vowels and consonant patterns now until I have determined and obtained the best systematic phonics program for the population I am currently working with. I am adding components to my reading program as I continue in the course studies. I could not be more excited about participating in the UF program. It is exactly what I was looking for, and I have already far exceeded my expectations. Only more wonderful things to add to my toolbox for teaching. Strategies and methods. The understanding of the brain in relationship to the process of reading and writing is the portion that piqued my interest to start and is still at the top of my list of acquiring more knowledge. So I'm really excited about this session of the course. I have added a goal to my quest. After doing the research on the laws and policies of the state and district, I think my path may change this next year to seeking a position to teach teachers how to develop good readers and how to implement explicit, intensive sequential instruction for all readers, not just those struggling. They will all benefit from the effective instruction. So that's where I'm at. I'm looking forward to continuing the adventure and learning a lot. Thank you very much for your time and your continued assistance in my progress on my program. Thank you.